Hello, neighbor. I'm so glad you're here again. Outside, the night is falling. The streetlights on our block are beginning to turn on one by one, like small stars being lit in an indigo twilight. Sometimes, in the quiet of this moment, between day and night, you can hear the sounds of the world more clearly. The siren of an ambulance from somewhere far away, the sound of a neighbor's television broadcasting the evening news. Those sounds, sometimes they carry news that isn't happy. They tell stories of scary things happening somewhere in the world, or sometimes right here in our own city. And when we hear those things, a cold feeling can creep into our hearts, a feeling of unease, a vague and heavy fear. Our hearts might beat a little faster, our hands might clench just a little, and we might look out at the big world and feel so very small, so helpless against the powerful waves of life. To feel that way is perfectly all right. It only shows that you have a caring heart. You are not indifferent to the pain of others. When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." It's such a simple sentence, but through all the years of my life, I have come to see that it holds a deep truth and an endless source of hope. It doesn't deny that scary things are real. They are very real. But it gently points our eyes in a direction to look, a différente direction, a direction toward the light. Today, perhaps we can think about that advice for a little while, about looking for the helpers when a disaster happens. The first and most obvious thing on the television screen is the chaos, the smoke, the fire, the wreckage. Fear and confusion seem to cover everything. But if we look a little closer, if we look through that screen of chaos, we will see them, the helpers. They are the firefighters in their heavy gear, bravely walking into the places that everyone else is trying to escape. They are not superheroes who feel no fear. I am certain they have their own fears, but they have something that is even bigger than their fear. It is commitment. It is the responsibility to protect the lives of others. They are the nurses, the doctors, and the paramedics. Their hands move quickly. Their voices are calm and steady. In the midst of shouting and panic, they bring order to the chaos. They bring care to the pain. I remember a winter many years ago when a great blizzard hit the suburbs of Philadelphia. The snow fell so thick and fast, it covered everything. And then the power went out. An entire neighborhood was plunged into darkness and cold. The news on the battery-powered radio spoke of blocked roads, of danger. It was a scary time. But then the helpers began to appear. They weren't wearing uniforms. They didn't arrive in fire trucks. They were ordinary neighbors. Mr. Kowalski down the street had a generator, and the first thing he did was not to keep it for his own family. He ran a long extension cord across his yard to the house next door, to Mrs. Gable, an elderly woman who lived alone, so she could plug in her small heater. Then he went and knocked on every door, asking if anyone needed to charge a phone to contact their loved ones. No one had to ask him. He simply saw a need and he met it with what he had. And then there was young Emily, only 15 or 16 years old. Instead of staying inside, she put on her heavy coat and wool hat and walked to every house on the block just to check if the older residents were all right. If they needed an extra blanket or a hot water bottle, her actions weren't reported on the news. But to Mrs. Gable, to Mr. Miller on the corner, her actions were more precious than anything. They told them, "You are not forgotten. Someone cares about you." Helping isn't always about grand acts of rescue. Pulling someone from a burning building. Sometimes helping is simply offering a little warmth, a little light, a little human connection on a dark night. It's the affirmation that even when our big systems fail, the connection between one person and another is still there, strong and warm. But looking for the helpers doesn't stop with times of disaster. They are all around us, in our everyday lives, often so quietly that we don't even notice them. Think about the bus driver who takes you to work each morning. Their job is to drive the bus, but perhaps you have seen a driver who waits patiently for a mother with a stroller to get on safely, showing no impatience, even though the bus is running late, or a driver who smiles and says, "Have a good day," to every passenger getting off. They are not just driving a vehicle, they are carrying human beings, and they do it with a quiet kind of care. They are a helper. Think about the teacher at your child's school. They are paid to teach math and reading, but a good teacher does so much more. They're the ones who notice that a little girl in class seems sadder than usual today, and gently ask her about it after class. They are the ones who encourage a shy little boy to dare to share his idea. They spend extra time after the school day is over to explain a difficult problem to a student who doesn't understand. They are not just teaching subjects, they are nurturing souls. They are lighting the fires of curiosity and confidence. They are such important helpers, and there are the helpers whose work is invisible. The sanitation worker who starts their day at 4 in the morning so that our streets are clean when we wake up. The cook in a small diner, carefully preparing each meal to make sure it is not only tasty but safe. The farmer on a distant farm out in Lancaster County, working hard under the sun and in the rain so that we have food on our tables. We often don't see them, we only see the results of their work. But without them, our world would stop working. Their help is the very foundation of our daily lives. And then there are the helpers of the soul. They don't carry first aid kits or wear uniforms. Their tools are patience and silence and a willingness to listen. They are the friend you call in the middle of the night, just to say that you feel you are falling apart. And they won't say, "Everything will be okay." They will just be quiet on the other end of the line. And that silence says, "I am here with you. You are not alone." They are the people who run support groups in the basements of churches in Harrisburg, where strangers come together to share their burdens and find that their pain is understood. They are the artists, the musicians, the poets. They don't directly save a life, but their work can save a soul. A song can put words to a sorrow you couldn't name. A painting can show you beauty where you thought there was only darkness. They are the helpers for the deepest, most invisible parts of who we are. My mother's advice wasn't just a way to feel better in the face of bad news. It is an invitation to look at the world differently instead of focusing only on what is wrong, what is broken, and what is scary. Let's train our eyes and our hearts to recognize the goodness and care that are also present. When we do that, a quiet change happens. The world is no longer just a place full of danger and selfishness. It becomes a place full of good people who are trying every day to make life a little bit better for someone else. And when we recognize that, the fear in our own hearts can shrink, and our faith in humanity can grow. But there is an even deeper layer to this advice. After you have found the helpers, you begin to realize something. They are not some special breed of human. They are ordinary people, just like you and just like me. What does that mean? It means that we, too, can be the helpers. What motivates them? What makes an ordinary person run toward danger, or extend a hand to a stranger, or simply give their time to another with no expectation of reward? Perhaps it is not a calculated thought. Perhaps it is a deeper instinct, an impulse of compassion. Perhaps in the moment of seeing another person's pain, an invisible string inside of us vibrates with a quiet recognition. That could be me. That is someone's mother. That is someone's child. That is another human being. And in that moment of shared humanity, the boundaries between me and others seem to dissolve. All that's left is a simple need to soothe the pain. All that's left is a simple act of helping. When faced with great tragedies, we often feel so small. What can I possibly do? I'm just one person, and that feeling of helplessness can be paralyzing. But helping does not require us to have extraordinary power or great wealth. It only requires a heart that is willing to care. You may not be able to put out a forest fire, but you can donate a small amount to the firefighters, or you can write them a letter of thanks. Or you can plant a tree. You may not be able to solve world hunger, but you can bring some cans of food to the local food bank. Or you can cook a warm soup for a neighbor who is sick. You may not be able to end a war, but you can practice peace in your own family and in your own community. You can listen to someone with a different opinion, with respect and an open heart. Instead of with anger, you can teach your children about kindness and empathy. Helping is in the small things. It is giving up your seat on the bus for someone who is older. It is listening to a friend who is pouring their heart out, really listening with all of your attention. Without looking at your phone, it is saying a genuine thank you to the person who served you your coffee. It is picking up a piece of trash from the sidewalk and putting it in the bin. Every single act of kindness, no matter how small, is like lighting a candle in the darkness. One candle may not be able to erase all the darkness, but it makes the space immediately around you brighter, and it shows others that there is light here, and your light may inspire someone else to light their candle, and so on, and so on. The light spreads. But we must also be honest with one another. Helping, caring, it can be tiring work. Our hearts are not infinite. When we open ourselves to the pain of the world, that pain can flow into us. 2. Being a helper means that you, too, will feel exhausted, will feel sad, will have moments when the weight feels too heavy to carry, and that is perfectly all right. 2. A helper also needs help. A caregiver also needs to be cared for. You cannot pour from an empty pitcher. Being kind to others must also include being kind to yourself. That means knowing when to stop and rest, knowing when to say no, knowing when to find a friend and pour out your own heart. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is what is necessary for you to be able to continue your journey of helping in a sustainable way. The scary things will not disappear. They are a part of life. There will always be bad news. There will always be times when we feel afraid and insecure, but that mother's advice is a compass for the soul. When we are lost in the forest of our fears, it points us on the path back toward humanity. Look for the helpers. Look for the ones bringing order to chaos. Look for the ones bringing warmth to the cold. Look for the ones bringing care to the pain. Look for the ones who are quietly making the world work every single day. Look for the ones who are healing the invisible wounds of the soul. And when you have found them, be grateful for them. Let their example nourish the faith within you, and then look at your own two hands and look into your own heart and ask, in what way can I be a helper today? The answer will likely be very simple, very small, and very beautiful, because this world is not saved by a few grand actions of a few extraordinary people. It is preserved and warmed every single day by the countless small, kind acts of ordinary people, people who have chosen not to look away from another's pain, people who have chosen to be a helper. You've made this day a special day just by being you, with a heart that knows how to care, and with hands that are ready to help. Thank you for being here. My neighbor,